This is the broken line.
Oh no.
Please
Yeah,
it looked like it was broken.
I'll do it. Okay. Sorry, now it's recording. Alright, you don't have to look so grumpy. Okay, my speech is about the flute. The day when I started 6th grade, after I had all my mandatory classes scheduled, it was my choice of either choir or band. Since I couldn't sing worth anything, I thought, well, maybe I'll just try band, you know, it couldn't be that hard. And since all my friends were in bands, I was like, I'm gonna give it a try. I thought I wanted to play the flute, or not the flute, I thought I wanted to play the drums because they were just fun and loud, and I could go with that. And then the teacher told me I couldn't because I didn't have the rhythm, and I was just playing for the fun of it. And he's like, well, maybe you should just try a more feminine instrument. I was like, okay, what is more feminine than the drum? He goes, well, the flute. And I'm like, okay, I guess I could give it a try. And so he was like, you know, I'll have you start in flute in the first row, because usually the first row was the flutes. And so I started playing the flute, and 10 years later I'm still playing the flute, even though I'm graduated. As I was growing up, my family never played any instruments because I don't think Bosnia had instruments then. But when I came here, all my friends would play the drums. So that's why I got so involved with the drums. And I just wanted to be part of the band where like it was a team, you all had to like make sound to actually for it to work. And I think that's why I got into playing the flute, because I had a lot of friendships, had a lot of, it was a lot of like organizing, a lot of events and stuff like that. So it just made me a better person. And music is always a good relaxer, so whenever you're stressed, play some music or put your music on, because it always helps you out in the end. And playing the flute was all like, it was the opportunity to have me accomplish all the things I wanted to do, especially with music. Music affects every kind of people, no matter where you're from, because music can express what can't be said. According to author and poet Victor Hugo, once quoted, music expresses which cannot be said, and on which is impossible to be silent. Music speaks to everyone in many ways. There's so many different types of music, languages, and everything, so it speaks to anyone. If something cannot be said, it's better to hear in music, or it's loudly said. I can't express or explain the feeling of playing an instrument. I just hope you like the speech and the history and the parts of the flute and the many different flutes there are. The first flute was made in Germany in 1830. It's a wooden one according to Vienna Symphonic Library. The flute has been around for a long time. The first metal flute was made by Theobald Bowen in 1847, and he was the one who actually made it, like the metal one. Bowen added parts of the flute that didn't exist prior to the instrument. So usually before times they only had 1 or 2 like metal pieces on there, or wooden pieces. He invented 3 to 4 in a lift-like position where you can hold it. And he changed the bore of the flute operator, added the key system, and built them out of metal. Bowen overall made an established flute with a respectable quality. Now, since you know the basics, let's start with the different parts of the flute. The first flute started with only 2 4 different holes, few places including mouthpiece. The first flute has 3 main parts: the head, the body, the joint, according to Princeton University. And the head joint, this is the head joint. Sorry, I have to get my piece fixed, I just broke it. This is the head joint. You put your lip over here, and it goes like this. So it blows in, and you can rest your mouth on this longer part. The lip plate is where you rest your lower lip. A curved lip plate is easier to blow than a straight lip plate. The blowhole, also known as the mouth hole, the blowhole is where the musicians blow air into the order to receive sound. It can be either overall shape or round rectangular. So this one's like, I guess it's round. And the next one is the body. The largest part of the flute is the body. And so this is the largest part. And so they all go in and entwine. And this was the largest parts with all these keyholes. and this part is called the body part. According to Columbia Encyclopedia, the body is the largest part. The keys are pressed in order to receive a certain pitch, and they all have little plates underneath that are soft, so that way you can play it. Aside from the keys on the body and jaw, you also find the tuning side, and it's usually probably to tune the flute. So these are the tuning ones. And then the last is the foot joint, and this part is the foot joint, the little part. And the flute joint is the smallest part of the flute. And so when you play it, it's pretty much just like this. Blow into it. And I can't make any sounds now because I broke my mouthpiece. Okay, now let's start with the 6 main parts or 6 many types of flutes according to abouteducation.com. The bass flute in C evolves during the 1920s as a substitute for the saxophone in the jazz music. It's pitched 1 octave lower than the original flute. The alto flute in G, the top flute, has a history of over 100 years. The alto flute is a transposition instrument, meaning that the music rating for its pitch different than what it actually sounds. It's noted the fourth above its actual sound. And then we have the tender flute, also called the flute Admor in a B flat. Its pitch is 1 lower than the C. And then we have concert flute in C. This type of flute pitches in C, and it ranges in over 3 octaves, starting from middle C. And then we have soparo flute in E flat. It has a range of 3 octaves. It's equivalent to a concert C flute. And then we have the treble flute in G. It has 3 octaves ranging starting from G1. The G treble flute is usually responsible for the melody. It transfers the instrument to the pitch that it needs to be in. And then the speech, this speech doesn't really qualify what the flute can do and the way it can make you feel. But the history and the parts of the flute and the many different parts are all the different things that flute can do for you. I hope you all have learned at least something about the flute, or even you found something very interesting about it. The music that comes from such a small instrument, even if you don't find the instrument interesting, can help you with your education. And then music has always been a part of my life, especially since I make such amazing friendships in band. The best part was creating long friendships while playing music, being part of a team, which makes you patient, disciplines you, and shows you how to make music. All these new things get you to learn about the instrument, the music room, and mostly just playing from your heart. I have found part of me in the music, playing the flute, and in the end, I got all I wanted and accomplished everything I wanted with the flute. Thank you guys.
I had a ton of band friends throughout high school.
For some reason, I really don't know how to use technology. Sorry, my technology sucks.
Good job.
Yeah, one more time and I promise I'm leaving you for the rest of the day.